Hi, everyone, and welcome to this episode of the Fempire Podcast. It's so exciting. This is our second episode ever, and we have some new co-hosts. So I wanted to go ahead and quickly introduce a few folks. So my name's Tracy. You can follow me on Twitter at Lady Leet. I'm on the ArcsJS core team, Google developer expert for the web and Angular, and do a lot of other really fun things. We also have Kaelyn, and Kaelyn, you can follow her on Twitter at the Kway, and all of our Twitter handles will be in the show notes, so don't worry about that. But next up, we actually also have Katerina. Katerina, you can follow her on Twitter at CyberCity. We also have Eva, and Eva, you can follow her on Twitter at Eva Howe. And then we also have Sophie, and Sophie, you can follow her on Twitter at OxymoronBaby. And Tenezee, you can follow her on Twitter at TenezeeJ5. So a little bit about this podcast, just so you guys know what is going on here. We decided to start this podcast because we were looking at different podcasts and realized there was not a woman in tech podcast. And we thought, that's weird. Why not? So here we are talking about all things amazing related to cool things happening in the tech world that we see, amazing women, different women-focused initiatives, etc. So first off, I wanted to go ahead and thank This.Labs, which is our company, for sponsoring our time, and for our entire team for being so supportive that, of being mentoring and caring about, women in tech and helping change the ratio. So without our team at This.Labs, we wouldn't be able to make this happen, which means also please support us. So if you have any JavaScript specific consulting work that you need, hire us. Obviously we have a lot of men on our team as well, but when you're hiring us, you're also giving back to the cause, which is amazing. So also thanking another one of our sponsors, NStudio. So NStudio is a passionate software services company providing effective and scalable solutions for businesses of any size. So our friends over there, Nathan Walker, Brad Martin, and some other folks, they do a lot of native script consulting. So they're really great native script developers. And yeah, you should definitely check them out. If you want to sponsor us, we are so excited to do so. You can always email us hi@this.co for anything. If you send us swag, we'll wear it. I mean, who wouldn't want that, right? Send us free stuff. Okay, so I'm going to lead it off with Kaelyn, who's going to talk about upcoming events we have.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back. I'm excited for, oh my gosh, I was going to say season 2, episode 2. For upcoming events that we have, this.JavaScript State of Performance, that is going to be on 3/6. If you want to visit our website, which is www.this.co, that's there. Also, we have Modern Web Online coming up, which is going to be 3/13. It is for both of the events. This is going to be our first this.JavaScript State of Performance and our first Modern Web Online. Katerina will actually be speaking for Modern Web Online, so we're super excited to have our very own. Yeah, girl. And that is all so far. I mean, we have a ton of events, but those are the closest ones for everybody to be.
Yeah, can you tell us about some of the speakers that are going to be on State of Performance?
Yeah, absolutely. Tracy's going to be one of them. Then we actually have our very own Rob O'Sell. Next is going to be Tim Kadlik. We have another named Tatiana Mack. Leonardo, I'm going to butcher his last name. I know you know how to say it. You say it, Tracy.
Zamia? I probably butchered it too, but it's Italian.
And you said it faster, so it just sounded like it was right anyway.
Maybe it's like Zizamia. Like Mamma Mia, but Zizamia.
I like that too. Yeah. Then we have Minko. Minko's last name.
Gachev. Yeah, Minko.
Cornell. Right. Cornell Lisinski. And then we have Yoav Weiss. So we're super excited to have all of those special guests. And then for Modern Web Online, we do have Katerina. Katerina, please pronounce your last name, if you can, for me.
Skroumpelou.
Ooh, that was cool.
Yeah, say it one more time.
Skroumpelou.
Wow.
Cool. She sounds like a, when you click the Google Translate and it's like phrase, She sounds exactly like that.
That is so funny.
That was great.
We also have Ben Morse. His name is a lot easier to say. And then we have Uri Goldstein, which we have for like every single event that we do. So he is for always agreeing to be with us. So those are all of our awesome speakers that will be for our upcoming events. I'm going to just hand the mic over to, Mike.
Sophie.
Yeah, Sophie. Sophie, can you tell us about the new releases or cool technologies in the tech world, pretty please?
Yes, Kaelyn. Okay. I'd like to talk about React hooks. It was actually released a few months ago, but there has been a lot of activity around it. People are starting to migrate their React code to hooks. And something that I think it's wonderful is that it's backwards compatible. So you can migrate too. And I had another great thing. Oh yeah, GitHub has now drafts for pull requests, and I love GitHub releases because they're always they always really understand their users. Like everything that incorporates, at least that's my opinion. It's always really good. So yeah, that's all I got.
Cool, and I have one as well. So on March 4th, this actually came up because we just did this.javascript state of frameworks and libraries, and Jason Miller, who wrote Preact, he had a little pet project called Ceviche. And so he rewrote everything. He basically rewrote Preact, thinking about if I knew everything I knew today about how Preact would actually be used, what would the code actually look like? So he spent a lot of time kind of like rethinking things, and there were a bunch of different contributors as well. And so pet project called Ceviche, just like when Ben Lesh was rewriting RxJS, we called it T-Rex, Tiny RX, T-Rex. So March 4th is when Jason has promised to release this new rewrite of Preact. And since it's called Ceviche, everyone should be eating ceviche on that day. So I'm very excited about those things. And
I know that we all found some amazing women to talk about doing amazing things. Tracy, who do you want to talk about today?
Yeah, I'm excited about this portion of our podcast. It's called Fempire of the Month. There's a few people actually. So we have Angie Jones. So I love Angie Jones. She is a developer advocate over at Apple Tools. And she just has such a positive, amazing personality. One of her team members actually went and spoke at Modern Web Bay Area the other week. And I was like, Angie, you work in San Mateo. She's in the Bay Area. You work in San Mateo. You live in Oakland. How the heck, why would you drive down to Mountain View, like for a meetup at night, like so much commitment and dedication to her team. So I love her. You can follow her on Twitter at TechGirl98. Also Rachel Nabors. So Rachel Nabors is amazing. You might know her for some of the things that she's done with CSS, or maybe read her book before, but you can follow her on Twitter at Rachel Nabors. And she is just having such a ball in Amsterdam and posting pictures of like all the clothing she's buying. And I keep telling her, she, especially when you move somewhere as a single female alone, it's like, whoa, going from the US to Amsterdam by yourself. But it just looks, Europe just looks so good on her. So and then also shout out to Elisa Duncan from Angular, Kansas City. She's been doing such cool stuff. And Jennifer Wadella just recently spoke. So two amazing women in the Angular community that I just love seeing it's not a new meetup, but I just love seeing meetups and kind of seeing women get together and just sort of like band together and build communities.
Okay. Cool. So the person I wanted to talk about is Vani Kunche. You can follow her on Twitter at Vani Kunche. She's a senior software engineer at USGS. And what she does, she has a newsletter for women developers called Code with Vani. And you can follow that on Twitter and sign up. And yeah, and stay up to date with Fanny and her newsletter.
That's awesome. So I have a couple of them. One of them is going to be In Tech Camp for Girls. Their @name is @INTECHCAMP. And it's a 501c3 nonprofit organization that informs and inspires girls to innovate in the technology field. So you can go ahead and learn more information on their website, which is intechcamp.org. And the creator is Kaelyn M. Braswell. I hope I pronounced her name right, but she's a digital consultant. I also would like to just shout out Tracy Lee. She didn't, but I do want to shout her out for being an awesome boss, adding so many awesome women to the team, and just being an advocate, right, for diversity and inclusion. So I just wanted to thank you. Sometimes, you know, I don't thank you enough. So thank you so much.
Aw, thank you. That's very nice. I'm just happy we have such a cool team.
I second that. Can I add something? The other day I have this group in Argentina that's called Chicas Programando, which means girls coding. And I was talking, and I don't know, we were doing a sprint overview, and I said I had a new job, and I said the name Tracy Lee, and like people turn around and say like, oh, Tracy Lee? So you're famous here in Argentina too.
Oh, that's nice. Hopefully there were nice things.
Like everywhere you never saw.
Tracy, she's big overseas. No, everywhere. We went to a coffee shop that wasn't even open for like 2 days, and she knew the owner knew her, and she was just like looking, and then she's like, oh, she like put 2 and 2 together. I was like, dude, like this is ridiculous. I'm just little old me just sitting there, like I don't know anybody, but she's famous everywhere.
Oh, whatever. Everybody knows you too, Kaelyn. So yes. Well, yes, I'm so happy to have such an amazing team. Who's next for Fempire of the Month?
So I have one too. Juniors in Tech, you can follow them at Juniors in Tech. They do a weekly newsletter and job board for kind of people who are coming into tech or wanting to come into the tech industry. It's done by, I'm going to totally butcher her first name, Kaija Lewis, who's a full stack engineer. And if you want to find out more, you can go to their website, juniorsinTech.com. And then our next section is our tech-focused female initiatives. I'm going to start that off a bit. I have been working with Tracy and the rest of you guys on a wonderful program where we are taking female developers who are coming out of boot camps and want their first job, but they don't have a lot of experience. And so they're having trouble finding that first job. So what we're going to do is we're going to pair them with a senior developer and then hire them out together to companies so that the women get this much needed experience. And they also have a mentor to help them through those first couple months of ramping up and trying to figure out what they're doing. So, and then we have, oh, sorry.
Oh, no. I was just going to say the Apprentice program sounds really cool. I know we're all excited about that.
I am super excited about it. I long ago got into politics because I really wanted to help women do better in work and the world. Politics was not the way to do that, but I'm really excited to have found a home working on this project right now. It makes me happy.
Yeah, definitely. But another female initiative that we found this week was Code Bar. They're a nonprofit initiative all about community and making a difference. Their way of facilitating the growth of a diverse tech community is by running a free weekly programming workshops. That's organized by 2 ladies. Their Twitter handles are This Is Joe Frank and @KaraMac. And also you can go to their website, codebar.io, to find out more information.
Cool. And I have one too. Mine is Moms Can Co. So that's the Twitter handle, Moms Can Co. And this is something done by Founder Mama. And there's over 10,000 moms on this mailing list. And basically they can sign up to receive remote jobs for moms. So it's a really great way. Like if you're a mom and you're looking for a remote job and, you know, flexibility, et cetera, right? As a mom, you can find those things. So I was like, oh man, don't forget to post our stuff. Cause you know, we have so many amazing moms on the team. Let me see. Okay, Katerina, do you want to go next for the?
Yeah, so our next session is New Women in Tech that you've met. So Sophie, do you want to start by naming or talking about things you've met?
Yeah, sure. I haven't met anybody recently, but I met Jen Looper from Vixens when she was in Buenos Aires, and she was great, and she convinced me to be part of Vixens. So that's it, I think. What I love about Vixens is that it's foxy people, it's not just women. So it's for anybody that self-identifies as anything that is not cis male. And not just like, you know, the inclusion aspect.
Cool. And
so sorry.
Go ahead, Katerina.
No, I said I haven't met any new women recently because I haven't been to any events. But in 10 days we have our meetup here in Athens, and I'm determined to meet all the women that attend our meetup because there aren't that many.
Well, all the new women that I've met in tech are on this podcast right now. Hey, guys.
Hey, girl, hey.
And our next section is...
Oops, I think you muted yourself.
I tried to unmute, and then I muted. Our next section is about advice for getting into tech and what the best things you should do. And we can start with Katerina.
Sure. So I really wanted to stress the importance of having mentors. So, for example, this is one of the reasons that I think our apprentice program and all the job we are doing is, Tracy actually and all the people who work on the apprentice program are doing is so important. Because having mentors really helps anybody who's new in tech grow. So, for example, my first mentor was a friend of mine who was working in tech, and he was sort of already big in tech and knowing things how to move around. And the first thing that he told me was go to a job fair, and I was in London at that time. So I went to this job fair that is called Silicon Milk Roundabout, which has all these new startup companies that are looking for new people to hire. So this was a great big start for me. And then every time I check in with that friend of mine who was my first mentor, and he sort of gives me advice on new technology, or also mentors can give you advice on what job to take over another, or also how to negotiate money. And all this mentoring of having somebody believe in you makes you also feel more powerful and more confident. So this is why I think that mentors are so important.
Cool. And for me, since we've been doing a ton of hiring, and I will say that we are still hiring, so as much as my inbox is drowning, I still would like more resumes, and we're always trying to hire more, give opportunities to like everybody in tech. But like, I like diversity. I think we all like diversity. It's healthy for us, right? So one thing I've seen people do, okay, and I totally do not like. I think this is the best thing ever. I have junior developers applying for senior developer roles. And like, that's great because, you know, what am I going to do? Just filter through. The worst thing I could do, say no. But if I have a junior developer role, I'm going to say yes. Or even, you know, if it's, you know, I mean, obviously we're trying to get more women into tech. So if a junior developer female like applies for a senior developer role, there might be other opportunities for her, right? And again, it's not just like related to female, male, whatever, but I definitely see more men being more like, hey, I'm a mid-level developer, but I'm applying for the senior developer role. So I would say advice for just, you know, women in tech getting started in tech, like do that. Also following up. So a great story is Katie. So Katie, I think it's Katie of Code on Twitter. And we've been talking since October. And, you know, you know, like there wasn't a position for her, you know, there still isn't a position for her. But, you know, then one day me and Kaelyn were talking and we really needed somebody. And, you know, all of a sudden, Katie is working on some stuff for the team. So that's super amazing, right? And like, that is just following up. Like, it's actually quite intriguing to me that after I interview people, they don't follow up. Like, it's like, okay, I interviewed you and I never told you yes or no, but you disappeared from the face of the earth. So, I mean, me as an interviewer, I do try to follow up, but I'm just so busy as it is, right? But it's like, wow, did you care? Maybe. I don't know. And I mean, it's up to you again, right? But like, if you care, don't just sit there stewing and thinking like, oh, they just didn't like me, because that's probably not the case. They might just be really busy. But if you don't follow up, they're going to forget about you. And then you're just not going to get the job in general. So.
Yeah, I have to bug Tracy.
All right. Well, that's going to be a thing. Everyone's like, yeah. That's terrible. No, yes. But it's very true. Follow up. Yes. So.
Go ahead.
Oh, I think, did you have one, Kaelyn?
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
I was going to say maintaining friendships. Like, I know, like, you know, and maybe if you don't go to conferences, if you're just, you know, online and meeting people through Twitter or social media or wherever, try to maintain those friendships. Like, you never know who, you know, you'll be able to, who will be an asset to you in the future, or who might be able to get you in connection with the job. Like Tracy said, you know, as far as like getting a job, like bugging people, but like maintaining friendships and connections and just relationships in general always helps. So yeah, that's my advice. And I know like some people are, what's the word? Like when, you know.
Introverted?
Yes, there we go. I was going to say loner, but I was like, that's not a good word. That's not a good word. But yes, introverted. Just make sure that, you know, you try to like maintain some sort of friendships.
I second that. It's all about the networking. You just need to talk to people and you have to kind of psych yourself up. I feel like sometimes to go up and talk to people you don't know, but you just never know. You never know what that friendship's going to turn into. So it's always good.
Yeah, I was thinking the same, like you should go to meetups and do friends and make friends. And I mean, it's not that you have to do friends just to get a job, but it's true that you never know. It's not that you're going to meet somebody and they're going to offer you a job in a week, you know. I think it's like you have to build a net that will pay off over time. And apply to things and go to things even if you feel you're not good enough. I like to say this because literally every woman I have met in code has said, I don't know enough, or I'm not smart enough, or something like that. Like, we always feel like the imposter syndrome, right? But I think with women it's harder for some reason. We are not used to do techie things. But like, do things even if you feel you're not good enough. That feeling is going to go away apply even if you feel you don't have the seniority yet. Because you never know.
Yeah, I would say I have to tell you that like when I mean, everybody has different mindsets. So I know a lot of people, for example, don't like going to meetups. You know, like a lot of women, for example, won't go to meetup unless other women are going to meetups. But for me, I'm like, I'm the only female, so I'm going to get more attention and this is going to benefit me somehow, right? That's how I try to view it. So it's also like maybe changing your mindset on that. This is actually also like, you know, when I was, you know, when we think about consulting, right, for us, I was like, you know, what differentiates us? Obviously, we have the best of the best, you know. I'm on the ArcGIS core team, Ben's on the Angular core team, and he wrote ArcGIS. So we have good talent. But like even outside of that, you know, we have women on our team, and that's so cool. So like being a female also gives you a competitive advantage, and you should use that to your, you know, to your advantage, right? Like don't view it as a handicap, like, oh, I'm a woman in tech, so I'm not going to be valued or anything like that. Hey, that might happen in reality. Like you definitely run into those situations, but if you go into it with the mindset of, hey, I'm special because I am a female, it's so much better that way.
I totally agree with that. I totally agree.
Yeah.
And one more thing I wanted to add is like, always say thanks to people who help you, and always give credit to people who help you, because it's very, very important.
I agree. It costs nothing to be kind. So, so you guys have anything funny or random that you want to share? Maybe something you ate or, you know, read.
I have a silly thing. So we went out for sushi last night for Valentine's Day, and my husband was ordering things, and he didn't really know what the waiter was saying because a lot of the fish names were all in Japanese. And so we ended up with like a whole fish on the plate, cooked, like skin, head, eyeballs, the whole 9 yards. And my husband is quite squeamish about these things, so he kind of flipped out. He was like, Can you handle that? Can you make it so that I can eat it? But the fish was delicious. I can't tell you what it was, but it was fantastic.
Well, that's the most important part. So
yes, I agree.
Since we can get really random, I saw a tweet this morning. Someone said they saw a baby on the train singing their ABCs all out of order, and a guy just shouted out, "Yes, girl, remix." And I've just been laughing at that all morning.
Yes. I love that.
Oh gosh, that's something like I left. Oh, that's funny. Okay, so I pretty much like record the intros and the outros for like all of our podcasts. And Tracy tells me to go in the closet and record the podcast because she's telling me like it sounds like you're in the studio. So I'm like, okay, I'll do it. So at the time, my husband was at home, and so I went in the closet, and then I come out of the closet, and he's standing there just looking at me like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, Tracy told me to go in the closet, you know, but like he scared the crap out of me. So I had like almost dropped the laptop, and I was like, never again will I be in the closet when he's not there. It was so funny though.
Man, you're giving me a good reputation. I'm just like, Kaelyn, you go in the closet.
He was like, dude, like, what are you doing? Like, are you okay? Like,
by any means necessary.
You come on the clothes. Okay.
Who else? Sophie?
Yeah. I have something to show.
Mm-hmm.
That I found a few weeks ago, and then I lost it. Are you seeing my screen?
Yes, the Brittany Forever.
I love retro things. So you have to put your email in if you have an Apple ID or connect to Spotify. And Brittany will suggest a playlist.
That is so cute.
I love retro things.
What's the website URL?
It's britneybot.com.
Oh, that's so great. Okay, we'll definitely link that in the show notes. It's britneybot.com. You can see it. But that is exciting. I love Britney Spears.
Someone built this with all these 9G icons.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry.
Yeah, that's great.
Sorry. So basically, she will ask you. You have to open the messenger, and she will suggest. She will ask things like, "How are you feeling?" And you will suggest a Britney hit.
Wow.
I love everything about that.
I love it, guys. So that's it.
Cool. Who do we have?
It's a Britney Bot.
Katerina, you want to go next?
Yeah, it's not so funny. So this mentor I was talking to you about before, what he also shares with me cultural things like books or things I might like. So one of the things he suggested to me last week was a new podcast called Serial. I don't know if you've listened to it, or it's quite old, but I mean, 3 years old is quite old for our days. So yeah, I got obsessed with it and I listen to it when I walk or when I go to the gym. It makes time run more fast and it makes time more enjoyable, because it's sort of like I'd never listened to a podcast like that before, because it's like a series, but you listen to it, so you don't have to actually watch it. And it's very nice because it's sort of detective or police investigation stories that are true. So it's based on a true story, and there is this woman who tries to find out what really happened. So yeah, if you're into this kind of things, or you have time commuting or walking around or going to the gym, it will make time more enjoyable. So it's called Serial.
Cool.
I am obsessed with Serial, so if you ever want to talk about it, I can go in depth about
Sure.
it. They've got a new HBO documentary about to come out too.
I know.
Like Serial, like
actual Serial. I was like, sleazy.
I thought so too. That's what I was thinking.
I'm like,
She's really like Serial. There's a documentary coming out about Serial. Is it spelled Serial or Serial like serial entrepreneur?
Serial, SCRIAL.
Okay.
The whole time I'm thinking cereal, like box of cereal.
It's actually I think the most downloaded podcast of all time, and they have a Peabody Award.
Yeah, and it's I listen to it on Google Podcasts, but I think it's also on Apple or other places.
Oh, they're serious. Okay.
So let me see. Random thing for me is my husband. I told him he needed to celebrate Valentine's Day. And he's like, what? You need to celebrate Valentine's Day? And so he decided, and I said, yes, you need to buy me presents. And so he decided to order a lot of meat. So we get like 2 huge boxes of meat. He's like, this is your Valentine's Day present. I was like, no, this is not my Valentine's Day present. This is your Valentine's Day present to yourself. He's like, yeah, I'm going to cook you great meat to eat. I'm like, oh my God, no. You just need an excuse to spend like a ton of money on meat. He ended up making up for it. He got me like 3 bouquets of roses for Valentine's Day, which was nice. But I just thought it was so hilarious. So now, but the thing is, I would get him meat too. One time I got him a gigantic ham leg as a present. And then I was thinking, well, he just already bought me meat. Do I buy him meat? And then what meat do I get him? I don't even know. So I need to figure out.
Tracy, now I know what I have to bring to your house when I travel, because I don't know if you know that Argentinian meat is one of the best. And it's really cheap here. So, yeah, I'm putting that on my list now.
Oh, good. Awesome. Cool. I think that's, Kaelyn, do you want to go through the next segment?
Absolutely. Thank you so much to our sponsors in studio. I just want to thank you to Brian and Nathan. Nathan, we met at NG Atlanta, and he was super great. So I'm glad that they decided to sponsor us. They're our first sponsors. And they're actually sending us swag. So hopefully by the next episode, you know, we're all swagged out in like whatever they send us. I know it's going to be shirts for sure, but you know, in studio, if you want to send like anything else, I hope you're listening to this. You just let us know, okay? We'll gladly receive it. Right, everybody? I think we're all on the same page.
Yes. Yeah.
Yes, of course.
Perfect. And then once again, thank you to This.Labs consultancy for always sponsoring as well the podcasts. If you want to hire us, if you want to change the ratio with the, you know, 1 million women in the world that want an opportunity, you can visit us at this.co, this.co/labs.
Cool. Awesome. And thanks again for listening to this episode of the Fempire Podcast. We are always looking for sponsors, so you can always message us, Tracy at this.co or hi at this.co, or just message me on Twitter at LadyLeet. Again, thank you again. And, you know, if anybody has any suggestions on the internet of what they want to see or people we should feature, we're always listening. So check out our website, this.co, for more episodes of the Fempire Podcast, and we'll see you the next time around.